Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Belle Cave. My name is Jordan Bell. Let's talk about me. I'm an athlete here at Kane University. I wear number 99. I make plays on and off the field. I'm a communication, media, and film major and a senior here at Kane University. I've had a radio show for 3 years now, and now I'm bringing it to the TV screen. Let's go. And welcome back to the Belle Cave. Today I have with me, a guest that is the 2017 National Guard Athlete of the Year and now track and field slash cross country coach of Kane Athletics. Please welcome Coach Daniela Todman.
Hey everybody.
Coach, first of all, I have to ask, how are you doing today?
I'm always good.
That's
Always
good. That's good. So obviously, you're a newer coach to the system. Can you just talk to me first about what it's like being a Kane coach and being around the Kane Athletics program and players?
So it's a massive transition for me for a couple of reasons, right? So I came from coaching a county high school, right? So there was 3 schools. I coached at North Tech. So the dynamic is different, right? Obviously, paperwork, being actually in charge of logistics. We didn't really have to worry about recruiting because whoever came out for track was the team, right? On the second half, I'm, deal with Department of Defense sports. I was the basketball coach for basketball and track and field. For the Air Force side, track and field, cross country, basketball, but it's different because you don't recruit. You know what I mean? It's a selection process for higher sports, so like international competitions. If we're going against the other branches, so all Air Force team versus all Army team, and so on and so forth. So it's different in terms of the operation flow, right? As to NCAA, there's a whole dynamic of things that you can do, can't do, recruitment, the bus flow, picking your schedule, making sure that, for me, like for cross country, we have to have no less than 5 meets before championship. So balancing that in terms of making sure, my team's not burnt out, because they have to still maintain academic excellence and still maintain personal excellence, right? So looking at those things, am I overloading, underloading, those kind of things. So like in high school, you really don't have to worry about that. Like you have to worry about it to a degree, but it's not to the nth degree of making sure like NCAA compliance, and you got a whole different dynamic because college, you're transitioning in such a different way. So to be a coach guiding athletes in a massive transition from high school to college is very different.
Absolutely.
You know?
I'm obviously going to get into how you treat your athletes later on in the program, but I also want to talk about your National Guard. You were in the Air Force. I mentioned before how you were the Athlete of the Year. You mentioned before you were in the Air Force. So what was that like as well, just being in that environment of the Air Force and the military? I have a family in the military background, so I know the discipline and that, and just in that, what it comes with. So talk to me more about that and how you brought it into coaching.
So I'm still in it's weird, I'm still in the military.
Wow.
I still, every Wednesday, I still have to do my duty. So, when I transitioned into coaching, I wasn't expecting to coach while I was in the military, especially with high school, because of the demand, right, of military stuff. So I was like, I have personal training, and I was doing one-on-one coaching. So once the opportunity came to me to coach high school, I was still, I'm still in the military. So I found that balance. I didn't expect to go into the military, especially the Air Force. I wanted to go Coast Guard just because of what I saw hurricane-wise. I watched, my family's from St. Thomas, so I saw how they rescued. I was like, oh, that'd be cool to be stationed down here and still, serve my country at the same time. It didn't work out. So the Air Force, my mom didn't want me to be a Marine because she was like, my only daughter will not be a Marine. I was like, okay. So, I looked up the Air Force. The Air Force was a cool way to still serve my country. And I felt as though the core values of the Air Force really mirrored what I believed in, right? So the core values of integrity first, service before self, and excellence in everything we do. So those are the things that are my foundation and foundation in which I was raised. So Air Force was a no-brainer, right? So I was not expecting to stay in this long. It just hit 18 years.
Oh,
Almost
congratulations.
I'm almost done, so I can retire in a couple of years. But in terms of me coaching college, right? I always said I was going to coach college after I retired because I knew the responsibility was greater, right? And it's different when you coach high school versus I'm going to coach now college athletes because you're training the athlete to be who they are in life,
Okay.
not just being an athlete. You're communicating to them that it's okay to be them, right? And speaking to them true self. So what I carried in the military to coaching was the one big thing is the wingman, learning how to be a wingman, and meaning that I always have your six. As a coach, don't matter. I ask my athletes to. I will meet you where they are, right? No matter what. After you come to me good, bad, and different. You can come to me sad. You can come to me happy. No matter what, as long as you are you, I will meet you where you're at, right? So that is what I brought into coaching was just being a wingman, and being deployed. I've been deployed half my career, right? So there's very much a lot of things that I've seen that have impacted me in terms of what's the importance of life. And being a wingman really does impact, and coaching is wingmanship. So it's a different way of wingmanship, but it's wingmanship nonetheless. So that's what I brought into this coaching dynamic, especially in the transitions, because I think people don't really understand how heavy COVID was in terms of the social dynamic, right? And there's a lot of things in terms of COVID that we don't know, like everything stopped, right? So the important thing, especially the last three, the class of 2020 and especially class of 2021 and a little bit of class of 2022 from high school, they missed was that social dynamic, right? So they're used to being in the house, not really socializing via lens, right? So now having them to be like, hey, it's okay, learning their communication style while being a student and them walking in their champion way. So that's the difference, and during that, during COVID, I was doing a COVID mission here. I was doing mortuary. So I was in Newark doing the mortuary mission. And that's my job in the military. So when I deployed, there was a lot of things like I was not prepared, to see. And death was a very rapid thing. So the mortuary team and my honor guard team really had to learn how to be there for each other, especially in that hard, especially if we're going to see a hard. So that's what the main thing that actually saved me was always having somebody on my side and having my six. You know what I mean? It's a different dynamic. So once I transitioned from active to guard, that's one thing I carried, right? But it's a different dynamic.
All of that is really just beautiful. You talk about wingman, having somebody's back, and hardship. We're talking military sports. As an athlete myself, you don't always have the best season or the best time, so you need the person you can lean on, whether it be a coach or in your sake or another athlete in your sake. You guys, as a college student as well, you don't have good days. Life does happen and gets in the way. So, and that's what I want to hit on next is how you treat your athletes. I talk to a lot of your athletes, and they say, like, before we get even started running, whether it's running, throwing, anything, we're gonna say, how are you? Just what impact, just in those words of how are you or in general, do you feel like you have on your athletes?
Oh, I hope my athletes know I love them, and that they know that they're seen and not viewed. That's a big thing, right? And the coaching dynamic, right? You have to be. It's a fine line, right? You have to make sure you see the athlete and not view them through stats, and not view them through a good or bad day, right? Because as you say, everybody has good or bad days, right? We had good or bad races, but I know that bad is not my athlete. Even the good is not my athlete, right? My athlete carries and perseveres through. So the beautiful thing that I coach with track and field and cross country is I teach them life through the art of cross country and track, right? So I teach them how to walk as themselves in the race because life is a race. Do you compare yourself to the lanes, right? Do you compare to yourself to somebody who else is in the circle, to the 100 and plus people on the line in cross country? No, stick to your pace, and you'll run your race. You know what I mean? because a lot of times people, I have to teach, like, don't go out because you see other people, right? Because you don't know what their preparation is. I teach you preparation so you're not succumbing to pressure, right? Of who's to your left, who's to your right. You trust the process that we go through together, and you race together, because at the end of the day, the people have the less time together is what wins championships, right? And from last year to this year, it's a night and day difference from the results, right? My women's team ran a faster average in NJAC by 5 minutes and 13 seconds as a team average. The guys ran 4 minutes and 27 seconds faster as a team average. That says a lot, right? So this year, when I came in coaching, I had to really make sure that the preseason, we did a lot of things that were togetherness, right? And I know this is probably going to sound really weird, but journal and do vision boards together in the preseason.
Yeah, that doesn't sound weird to me.
So, because if my team understands what what everybody's goals and visions are, they're gonna hold each other accountable to
Absolutely.
it, right? So that was the thing. So starting to get them together in the preseason, right? But then it carried. So when I watched my team go through something hard, right? And I can honestly say that mental fortitude, I probably have the strongest team mentally, emotionally, because there are some things that have hit my team, and I'm like, okay. And I talked to them. I said, listen, however you want to finish the season, I'm gonna support you, right? Reset. They came to me. They said, I'm running. I said, okay. And the strength of the things that they've been through, and I'm sitting there, and sometimes like the way life hit my team this year, I'm like, oh God, am I strong enough to lead them through this, right? Because sometimes as a coach, there's all of different dynamics that the athletes don't see, right? So there's times I'll question. I was like, okay, but the one thing I'm proud of is that no matter how hard, they went through, right? They stayed true. They asked for help. They were transparent, and they were comfortable to ask for help, right? That's all I can ask as a coach, right?
Absolutely.
So for me, every day I asked if everybody's okay. They had a good night. Any problems with their classes? Did they feel safe the day before? Are there anything that I need to know? Is that they have to know that it's bigger than the sport. I care about them as a person, right? And I pray that they feel that and they know that, and that's all you can do as a coach, because I don't know direct impact until post graduation.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Because we're on our last segment. This is called Speed Round. I'm going to ask you just a bunch of random different questions. You're just going to answer them. And we're going to see how many we can get. Let's see. We got a time limit. We're going to do a time limit of a minute. Sound good to you?
I'm down.
Does that sound good to you? All right, we got a time limit. 1 minute. Just so I don't know which camera. See, 1 minute. Here we go. Max random questions. All right, we're going to go in 3, 2, 1. What's the prettiest place you ever visited?
Oh, that's hard. I would say Venice.
Nice. What's a quote that keeps you going every day?
Can't have process without you can't have promise without process.
Who's your favorite athlete and why?
My favorite athlete, Jackie Jordan-Kersee, because she did things. She injured her left hamstring in the '92 Olympics. It kept going. Won the heptathlon and won the long jump gold.
Okay. Who's your biggest inspiration in life?
My mom.
Why is your mom so important to you?
Because the things that she did as a 17-year-old parent, and she raised me to be here, I think she did a good job.
Okay. If you could change one thing in your life, what would it be?
Whew, that's a hard question. One thing in my life, not doubt when I was younger.
Not doubt. What's the meaning in life, and how do you approach life every day?
My meaning in life is to stay true to the race that is cultivated for me.
Okay. Last question. If there's one person you can go visit and pick their brain, who would it be?
Oh my gosh. That's a hard one. I would say, that is a hard one. If the person was alive, Nelson Mandela.
Okay. Well, Coach, I want to thank you for coming on today, taking time out of your busy schedule to come talk to me.
No, thank you for
if there's
having me.
anything you want to say, this is your time to say it.
No, just thank you for hosting me. Everybody support the Belle Cave. Support it. All right.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
All right, well, that's my episode, my first episode. Thank you for everyone that's watching. Thank you for everyone that's tuned in. I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna be back with another episode soon. So stay tapped in. This has been the Belle Cave. I'm out.